5 months after Democrats and a few Republicans passed that $787 billion stimulus plan, the Obama administration defending that spending. Here is Joe Biden in Cincinnati on Thursday, right about this hour.
The Recovery Act was not designed to restore the economy to its full health on its own. It was one of several pieces. It was designed to provide the boost necessary to stop this free fall. It was designed to spur demand and get people spending again. And it was designed to save jobs and create new ones.
Now, hang on to all those points he made there, because some people are talking about a second stimulus idea now, but Republicans on the Hill are saying, hang on. Putting out their own plans to turn around the economy. Eric Cantor, Republican from Virginia. He's the House Minority Whip, my guest from Capitol Hill. Sir, good morning to you. Welcome back here.
Good morning, Bill.
I want to dissect what Joe Biden just said there. He said the stimulus was necessary to stop the free fall. Now, one can argue that we were in free fall back in the fall and the early part of this year. Can you suggest now, or I guess can you agree that the economy is no longer in free fall? Let's start with that point.
Well, absolutely not. I mean, I think if you ask anybody out there working in whatever sector it is, manufacturing, service, retail, healthcare, everyone is worried about their job if they haven't already lost one or know someone who has. Look, when we began talking about the stimulus back in January, the president made the commitment and said, look, if we act with haste, if Congress were to go ahead and pass this on nearly $800 billion bill, then we would stave off job loss and would stop unemployment from reaching over 8.5%. Well, as you know now, unemployment is creeping up towards 10% nationally. In many parts of the country is a lot higher than that. So, you know, it has been a failure. We've lost millions and millions of jobs, 3 million jobs almost, over the course of the 7 months of this year. So obviously we shouldn't be thinking about spending more in the same way to try and reverse this job loss. We've got to get smart about this. We've got to go about working together to point back towards the small businesses that are the true job generators and creators in this economy.
How are you going to do that? I mean, what's the idea that could gain traction to do that?
Well, I mean, listen, Bill, what we need to do is, number one, is stop all the enormous borrowing and spending, the money that we don't have, requiring tax hikes that we can't afford to pay back. You know, the essence of how jobs have been created in this country is when you have entrepreneurs, small business people willing to go put their money to work to hire folks. That's what we need to be doing, is creating incentives, providing tax incentives, creating the situation where the credit markets can flow again. That's what we need to be focused on.
From here, it appears that you're going to need a major conversion at the White House or on Capitol Hill to get that done.
Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, Bill, because back during the initial discussions of the stimulus bill, I remember being with the president. I remember handing him the House Republican plan along with Leader John Boehner. And you know what the president said to me? When he took a look at that plan, he says, you know, there is nothing crazy in here, but I can tell you something. We do have a difference on how we go about stimulating the economy, and I won. Well, you know what? It's right. He did win. This is his economy now. This is the economy that's owned by this Congress and this Democratic-controlled Congress. But you know what? Their prescription has failed. It is time for us to step back and do it the right way now.
Well, the White House, if they were sitting here, they would say, listen, man, give another 6 months. When the money is spent more because it's gone into the system slowly, give it another 9 months. Robert Gibbs said yesterday from Europe it'll have a big impact over the next 2 years. Are we too hasty? Are we impatient?
Well, again, Bill, let's remember the context that we took this so-called stimulus bill up in. It was passed almost in the dark of night, 1,100 pages. No one in the House read that bill because the urgency was such that the president said we had to act now. And if we acted now, we would stave off job loss and we get America back to work. That hasn't happened. So why is it that we were going about spending nearly $800 billion if we didn't expect the monies to go out until 1, 2, 3, 4 years later? That's not how we should be operating here. We've got to stop this bill from going into full effect, and we've got to start being smart again.
You want to
stop the House Republican plan has got.
So you want to put it on the string and pull it back?
Well, listen, we need to start thinking about the smart way to go about deploying the efforts here. The efforts should be focused on small business people. The efforts should be focused on how we go about producing and helping capital form again so that we see jobs created. We need innovation. We need people and entrepreneurs to go ahead and engage again in this economy. We can't afford for just this government to be cranked up.
Allow the business imagination to run. Eric Cantor, appreciate your viewpoint on that today. We heard Joe Biden yesterday. Want to get your view today. Eric Cantor, thank you from the Hill.
Thank you.